Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Dr. Shahzad Iqbal, past Board of Director and Treasurer APPNA. In this video, we will talk about conflict of interest policy in APPNA. First of all, what is conflict of interest? As we've been told in our childhood, trust and justice, which is imanat or insaf, are the two basic teachings. If you look in Surah Nisa, if you look in Bible, these are the basic teachings. Any deviation is a conflict of interest. We as a physician, when we give a talk, our first light is always disclosure. That is the conflict of interest policy in simple terms. Next question is why we need a conflict of interest policy in APPNA. As you know, any society or an organization doesn't fail because they lack talent or money. They fail because the people or the members of the organization, they lose trust in the organization. In a professional physician organization like APPNA, mashallah, is doing very well. However, if APPNA wants to grow stronger for our next generations, it must strengthen its conflict of interest policies and its governance structures. Let me make it clear, a conflict of interest does not always mean a wrongdoing. Sometimes it does mean that our own personal, financial, or political associations may influence our decision making for our organization. So where do we need the conflict of interest policy in APPNA? In APPNA, it can involve decisions like simple vendor contracts, our sponsorship contracts, to our committee decisions, to our election processes, our leadership appointments, or our financial management. If we look at our current bylaws in Appendix B, it gives us a pretty much clear picture how to handle the conflict of interest policy. It states that there should be disclosure by every person involved in any leadership position, starting from committee as well as board of director or other leadership positions. In my opinion, the disclosure has to be done in the first month of January. Our cable then says there should be a periodic review of our conflict of interest over the year. Then it states if there is an issue, how to address it. And the way to address is to start within that particular area, like a committee or a board of directors, and they have to have minutes of the meeting. They have to have a voting record and also record of any action taken. If you look closely at the cable, the responsibility lies starting with that particular area, which is committee, but mainly lies with the board of directors, that who, in my opinion, have the main control or the upper hand in this area. One thing, in my opinion, which is not listed in our cable appendix, is that during the election process, promising someone a committee position or letting them use the APPNA platform for personal benefits or reason is also a conflict of interest and should be a big no. A progressive APPNA should lead with integrity, accountability, transparency, inclusiveness, and merit-based leadership. In the end, I would say that conflict of interest policy and implementation is critical because the future belongs to organizations that members can trust. Hence, faith, sincerity, and service. Together, let us build a more transparent and progressive APPNA. Thanks for watching the video. We have attached a brief survey. Kindly give us your comments. Thanks again.